thewellnesscouch.com, streaming wellness into your lives. This is Up for a Chat with Cyndi O'Meara, Carren Smith, and Kim Morrison.
Up for a chat about the hottest topics that are important to you, inspiring you to awaken the change within. I'm Carren Smith.
I'm Kim Morrison.
And I'm Cyndi O'Meara, the only serious one in the whole lot.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to do this podcast with you guys today, because I don't know what has gone on, but before we actually jumped on air, the three of us were curled up in the fetal position on the floor, wetting ourselves, laughing. So our voices are going to...
Yes.
Our voices are going to be all hoarse. It's just going to be hilarious. But here's the reality, kids. I think I'm hilarious.
She really should have her own show.
I mean,
she doesn't need us. She doesn't need us. I said to her, you should have your own show. Laugh, laugh. And she goes, well, actually, funny, you should say that.
Oh my God, what was that?
You're such a tart. She's a brat. She's a brat. That's what she is.
So we thought that we'd do today's podcast about laughter and about stuff that absolutely cracks you up. So we can't wait to see your posts on Facebook. We can't wait to see what absolutely cracks you up. And I'd love to know, when was the last time you cracked up laughing so bad you wet your pants? That's what I want to know.
5 minutes ago?
Did you wet your pants?
No, I didn't.
Well, she asked a question, you didn't tell the truth.
Well, I was laughing so hard I couldn't.
Easy.
Oh, you've got good control.
Very good control. And that's health.
Nice.
And that's what we're talking about, is laughter for health.
Right.
Well, believe it or not, that's what I don't know how, we actually were going to talk about mentors and books and lovely things like that, and then all of a sudden we just couldn't stop laughing. And we do that to each other. I don't know what that is.
Friendship.
You
Girlfriends. Connection. Carren is such a snob. She arrives here and all she's doing is pointing to the cat here on the table. And you need to know that we're at Cyndi's house today, whose cat's obviously... Cyndi, does the cat actually sleep on the table?
It must. I haven't noticed it.
Kim has just had the bleak realisation, the same one that I did.
You see, I have this obliviousness to many things.
And cats on tables, possibly as well?
Possibly, but you know what? I'm away all day. And while I'm away, the cats do play.
I don't blame them. Yes, I don't blame them.
Because I find cat hair on my bed, I find it on my blanket, in my lounge, and you know what cats are like? Cats, they find a place and they love it for about a week.
Yes.
And then they find another place. And sometimes I find it in the cupboard, sometimes...
Well, it's interesting because it's normally places they've urinated on as well.
Oh, gosh, Kimmy.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just saying that.
That's uncivilised. I was going to say, I found my dog's hair in my undies once. It went through my wash. The hair must have been gone through the wash.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed my undies out of my undie drawer and there's one of my dog's hair. Not cool. Straight back into the wash, that did. Actually, no, that pair of undies went in the bin.
All right, so tell us the psychology of laughing, Miss Psychologist.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You want me to go then? Okay, so I've got to get serious. Okay, psychology of laughter.
She should have her own show. She doesn't need us.
Oh, I'd be lost. I could never crack myself up.
Actually, you could.
Yeah, I think I might.
Yeah.
Why did you say that? Because I thought I was actually laughing at you, but then as soon as I said that, I went, no, I think I'm hilarious, so I reckon I'm all right.
What about the times that you laugh that you shouldn't laugh?
Oh, that's so bad.
Okay, so I just need to share a little...
Oh, no, here we go.
Oh, well, I've just gone to a place where I remembered I should not have laughed. What have you thought of?
No, well, Fleur and I were in Perth and we were about to deliver a talk on stage at the university, and this lady rang us, and please, if you listen to this story, it's not said in a nasty way at all, but and it was actually quite awful, but the situation was very funny, that this lady rings just before we got on stage, and she asked to speak to me, and so I got the phone, and she said, "Look, Kim, it's so-and-so here. I just want you to know I'm really sorry that I can't make the talk tonight." And I went, "Oh, look, not a problem. I understand things come up." And she said, "No, my husband's just been killed." This isn't funny, obviously.
Oh.
My husband's just been killed, but we're in the
we were
middle
having
of
a...
Wait,
Yeah.
I will turn it.
Okay.
I will turn
All
it.
right,
But
good.
she goes, "So I'm so sorry, but he was killed in a road accident." Well, instantly I've gone into, oh my gosh, don't even talk to me about, you do not, why are you even ringing me, is what I said. Anyway, Fleur and I went on stage, and that really put it was a dampener, but also a very humbling, a very stilling moment. We delivered the talk. This lady was so amazing ringing us that the next day Fleur and I decided that we'd go to the funeral, because she's been a big supporter of ours, and she has bought oils and all sorts of things from us right from the beginning in the book. Well, we end up going to the funeral, which happened to be on Fleur's birthday, and we arrive at this cemetery in Perth, and the cemetery is very big, and
Sorry, I've just got...
we arrive at the cemetery, and I've gone, "Oh my gosh, look, there's a car park." So we pulled right up. I had no idea it was where the Hursts park, but that's where I thought.
Oh, you had your own little private
I thought
car
we had
park.
our own private car park. So anyway, that's the first thing. Then we get out and we go to the funeral. And while we're sitting, now we don't know these people. Now I don't know if you've ever done something like this where you've gone to a funeral of someone you don't know, but it's actually quite extraordinary to sit there and watch. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. But
don't know why you
sitting
are
there.
either.
But I'm sitting there, and then this is the time when you shouldn't laugh. When you laugh when you shouldn't. So anyway, yes. So anyway, I'm sitting there at the funeral, and I realise as we're listening to this funeral that we're not at the right funeral.
Oh, stop.
So then I got the giggles. You know when it's you're in trouble with the principal, and you're like, I am down the back of the thing going. It felt like we were in a Monty Python movie. So then we come out of that, and we realise there's actually, I think, 6 churches within this, or 6 funeral rooms. Anyway, so I have now lost it so badly that I'm outside, and Fleur's going, "Stop it, pull yourself together." I'm going, "I can't believe we're at a funeral, but we're at the wrong funeral," and we're doing this whole thing. Well, I'm absolutely crippled over in hysterics, thinking that we've just come to a funeral, it's the wrong funeral. And I'm sitting there, and I'm leaning up against this tombstone, like, you know when your body's just gyrating because I'm laughing so much, and these people walked past, and they looked at Fleur and they went, "Oh, the poor thing," because it looked like I was hysterical
crying.
and crying.
Yes.
So now they're all looking at me going, "Oh my gosh, the poor thing," which has made me laugh more, because now I'm realising what an absolute... It was just one of those moments that was just so Monty Python, it wasn't funny. But that, for me, laughing at a funeral is not funny. It is not funny, but anyway, we came out. We eventually found the right place, and it was the most beautiful funeral. It was the most amazing thing. But Fleur said to me afterwards, "I have never had to console someone from laughing at a funeral, and you cannot believe you did that to me." But it was quite sombering, but also made us, look at the moment and look at life, that you can laugh in bad moments. But anyway, it was a very, very, very... It probably doesn't sound that funny now, but I was crying.
No, you know what? That's what's called a location moment.
You had to be there.
Too right. Had to be there.
Oh, it was very funny, very funny.
I like your story because you're a marriage celebrant. Kim is one of many talents, and one of the things she does do is she's a marriage celebrant. And I like the stories you always tell when you...
The faux pas.
The faux pas. She has quite a few of them. So would you like to tell some of your faux pas and get the...
just one.
Everybody
I'll just tell
listening
one.
to giggling.
So I'm at this beautiful funeral. No, I'm sorry.
See, there's a
Oh
faux
my
pas.
God.
She's actually at a wedding. She's a celebrant at a wedding, not a funeral. Would you like to put the next foot in?
I shouldn't be here today.
Open mouth, insert foot.
So I'm at
Both.
I'm at this wedding, and it's a beautiful wedding on Waiheke Island. It's a celebrity wedding, so we're up in the hills, and there's a lot of well-known All Blacks and people like that there, and the beautiful bride, her and her husband, the bridesmaids, 2 of them were pregnant, very pregnant. And there was a couple of people in the front row that had seats up on the hill with they were seated because they also were pregnant. Now the service is going very beautifully, and I'm so proud of myself that it's going well, that I haven't made any mistakes. And for those of you that speak, you'll know that sometimes you can have an internal voice saying things like, "You're going well," or "It's all good." And anyway, so I go,
"Where'd that come from?"
Yeah. And I went, Hamish and Catherine, you've exchanged vows today. You've given rings in honour of one another's vows to each other in front of everyone here pregnant.
Instead of present.
And I just stood there and I just about died. I couldn't believe it. And the whole congregation sort of cracked up laughing because there were so many pregnant people there. And in my head I've gone, oh my gosh, how did I say that? What did I do? Oh my gosh. So then I've looked up at everybody and I've gone, I'm pleased to see you're all listening. And I carried on and said, in front of everyone here present. Well, afterwards, everyone's going to know. Because everyone was saying to me, was that on purpose? And I've gone, yes.
Well, now they're going to know that was absolutely...
I know. Why did you make me tell the story?
Because it's one of my favourites. My favourite comedian, I want you to know, her name is Kim Morrison. She's always, you always got a good story and it always makes me laugh. There was another one, and it was an All Black that didn't ask you to marry them. And you were really pleased because you actually thought that All Black was a bit of a spunk, wasn't it? Now, what was that story, Kim?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're getting all these stories out of me. Okay, so everybody, you now need to know that I had a major crush and liking on an All Black called... I can't think of his real name. No, Dougie was his name. Anyway, Doug Howlett is his name. But anyway, so I was doing some work with the All Blacks and we were down in Wellington. But
see, she's already laughing.
Prior to this, what had happened was I was pregnant with Taylor, and someone had told me about going to a clairvoyant, and I had not, I didn't know much about clairvoyance or anything. So I went along to this clairvoyant and she sat down, I sat down and she goes, the first thing she said to me, she said, you're going to write books, which cracked me up because I hated English at school. I thought, She said, your name's going to be in lights and you're going to do very well with yourself. And then she goes, but who's the man with the name beginning with P? And I went, what, beg your pardon? She goes, here you are worried about your husband and different people in your life that might go off wandering. She said, but it's you they all need to be worried about. There's someone with the name beginning with P that's going to sweep you off your feet. And I was just sitting there trying to think of anyone I knew with the name beginning with P. Anyway, left it there. That's all I remember of the clairvoyant thing because she completely threw me with that story. I didn't hear the rest of the session. That night was the Michael Jackson concert in Auckland at Ericsson Stadium. I'm 6 months pregnant. I tell my brother and sister in the car on the way what had happened with the clairvoyant, and we arrive at Ericsson Stadium ready to watch Michael Jackson, which I have to say was a fabulous concert.
Oh, it would have been amazing.
Unbelievable concert. He was brilliant. Anyway, we're standing there and I turn around and there's my brother talking to this hunk. And I looked at him and my brother Aaron's looked at me going, no. And I went, excuse me, is your name Phil? And he goes, no. And I went, Peter. And he goes, no. I said, Paul? And he goes, no. And I went, Patrick? And he goes, no, it's Doug. And I went, can I call you Pug? And my brother's standing there shaking his head going, no, I can't believe she's doing this. Anyway, left the story that. It turned out it was Doug Howlett, the All Black. Gorgeous spunk. Google him. It's worth a look.
I'm going to Google it now.
Very spunk. So here I am a couple of years later. I don't know why you're getting me to tell these stories. They're not that funny. Anyway, we're down in Wellington and I've just done this work with the All Black partners and talking about being the wife and partner of an elite athlete. Anyway, Doug was the only one that
Are you kidding?
Uh-oh. Is he not good?
No.
Oh my God, how can you say that?
Show me.
He is divine.
No.
Oh,
Sorry, girls.
That's not the best photo. Have you seen him without his shirt on?
Okay, so that's another story.
Yeah.
If we're talking chest, that's a whole.
You need to
other
download
ballgame.
I like that photo of him.
He is
I like that one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, guys, Google Doug Howlett, and you know what? I would actually like to have a poll on this. I would like a survey on whether Doug Howlett really is a spunk worth calling pug?
No, he is totally.
Sorry, girlfriend.
And
I'm
he's
so
such
not
a
with
beautiful
you.
person. He's divine. And my brother went to school with him, so therefore, I kind of
No,
figured
I've got
I
nothing.
own him.
No, I've got nothing.
I can't believe these stories aren't
No,
that
these
funny.
are good. They're good. Tell them what you would have said at the wedding.
So anyway, when I found out he was getting married, I thought, I'd quite like to marry you. Doug, do you take Monique as your wife? I'm so glad I didn't do that wedding. But anyway, yes, he was Pug. And from that moment on, everyone has... And people still to this day ask me, how's Pug? So...
Oh, look, he is cute when he's got his hair short.
I know, I love his hair.
With that big hair? No.
If you're a New Zealand woman, you'd be into him.
Really? For real?
He's divine. Girls listening, when you Google him, let's just say divine.
Okay, girls. Okay, so I really want you to post on Facebook. I want all of you on Facebook. Whether you agree with Kim or if you agree with me. I mean, I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's nice, but I don't know. I just don't see it.
You reckon you don't think so? I just think, no, he's got gorgeous. His hair is beautiful. Anyway, long story.
Anyway,
Back to
moving on
laughter.
from that.
All right, well, so this was about laughter because we want everybody to laugh while we tell these stories because, I wanted this to happen because I think Kim Morrison is the comedian of comedians, and that's why I'm asking all the questions because you do have some wonderful stories, and I want you to tell the story now about Christmas.
Oh, now that is a good story.
That is a good story. Hello, Christmas.
That is a good story, and I have so copied Kim, and I have used Christmas a couple of times.
We're speaking down at the Gold Coast, and Fleur and I are getting ready. Cyndi was down at this conference. We're just about to go up to our room. We'd sussed out the room, and as we're walking back up to our room, the lifts open, and this Greek god walks out. He had a very tight top on. He was unbelievably toned, very chiselled face, and all three of us stopped. None of us said anything.
They kind of take your breath away.
It was one of those ones.
Oh.
And as he walked out, I just went quietly, hello, Christmas. And these girls just cracked up laughing. If any of you have watched Kath and Kim, you will know that hello, Christmas is just a gorgeous line. Anyway, that's quite a hard case, and we all went, definitely Christmas, New Year's, and Good Friday. Anyway, the next day we're standing there on stage, Fleur and I think it was our turn to talk, wasn't it? And we were up there and
I'd spoken already.
away. There was about, how many people were in the room? 200 or 300?
Oh, yes, yeah. There was a lot.
Couple of hundred people
Yeah.
in the room. Anyway, I start talking, and then we open the floor for questions, and this person puts his hand up and asks the question. As I'm looking at him, it was Christmas. Now, all I saw was his mouth moving, and I honestly did not hear any words come out of his mouth. And Fleur, and this is what I hear on stage with Fleur next to me. Nothing. All I hear is,
She knows.
and I went, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to repeat the question. I can't remember what you just said. So he repeats the question, and the same thing flipping more happens, where his lips are moving and there's nothing, and Fleur goes, oh my God. And I just gone, I'm really sorry. I just can't. I actually can't tell. I can't answer you. Anyway, I went, and I knew I was going to have to come clean, so I went, look, I have to be honest. Fleur, Cyndi and I were in the lift. You walked out, and none of us could talk, and then I went, hello, Christmas. And the whole room then cracks up laughing. And I went, so I'm really sorry. I can't answer the question because I can't hear what's coming out your mouth. And then Fleur steps in and takes over. And so she was brilliant, and she delivered, and it was a question about vaporisation. That's all I remember. Anyway,
You even remember that still?
yeah, that's all I remember.
Okay.
And then afterwards, anyway, people coming up to me and go, oh my gosh, we've been trying to come up with a nickname for Brad for years, and oh my gosh, Christmas is that's so perfect, you've got no idea. And then this lady comes up to me and she goes, I just had lunch with Christmas. And then we're standing there and I'm signing a book, and I said, who would you like this signed to? And this guy goes, Christmas will do fine. And it was him, remember? Brad was standing right there, and I said, I'm so sorry. Anyway, Christmas has lasted, hasn't it? We've used Christmas
Yeah,
ever
it
since.
has. We all say hello Christmas.
Everybody's
And when they're
we've all
really
got a
good,
Christmas.
it's hello Christmas, hello Good Friday, hello
And
New
New
Year. Actually, I remember as a very young girl a book that came out, and my father actually told me about it, and it was called Anatomy of an Illness by Norman Cousins. And it was basically about a man who had a debilitating disease, and he was in hospital. And they basically gave him no hope to live. And he decided to cure himself. And what he did was he watched funny movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he watched funny movies. And I've just got the summary here of the book if you want to hear what happened. It says, after a stressful trip. So this is 1964 he did this. After a stressful trip to the Cold War Russia in 1964... editor of the Saturday Review, Norman Cousin, tells how he developed a debilitating illness which confined him to bed. He is admitted to hospital for tests and treatments and is diagnosed with ankylosing spondylosis, but his condition deteriorates and he is given a gloomy prognosis. He notices that the depressing routine in the hospital life, and it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tends to produce side effects that aggravate his condition. Which is interesting, isn't it? With the blessing of one of his doctors, he checks out of hospital and into a comfortable, yet less expensive, as he says, hotel, with the food where the food is better. Now, I think that would make a difference too, where the food's better. And he can watch funny movies while he medicates himself with high doses of vitamin C. He is convinced that the slow improvement in his condition is owed to his theory of watching these funny movies and having laughter. So we actually know that laughter is really... good. And you watch kids, they're laughing all the time. They just seem to, they laugh at anything. I was sent a video the other day, and it was these two kids, and they've got two doorknobs. They look like twins, and they've got these two doorknobs, and they've got these elastic bands on the doorknobs. Did you see that?
Yeah, and they're in hysterics.
And they're flicking, I don't know, they're only about, 16 months old, 17 months old, putting the elastic band on the doorknob.
And then pulling it,
and
and
then
they
pulling
giggle.
it and giggling.
Oh, their giggle was
and falling
infectious.
over, and a little bit like what we were just before we started this podcast.
But you know the beautiful part about laughing, actually, is you never learn how to laugh. It's something that's inbuilt. You don't actually learn how to do it. So from the time that you're born, it's instinctive. Humans all know how to laugh, and it crosses the language barrier. Because if I go to Rome and somebody laughs there, I'm laughing too.
Yeah.
If I go to Switzerland, laughter it's like a universal language that becomes kind of infectious between all of us. And it's also like, you know, when you laugh, it's almost like a sign of acceptance. For me to laugh, it gives me permission to laugh, but it's also an acceptance of me. You know, especially because I think I'm so hilarious. And then when you laugh...
Or when you're being laughed at, though.
No, that would be nasty. Hello. Nasty. I think it's interesting, though. You look at... there are so many different modalities out there that include laughter as therapy. And like what Cyndi was saying, you know, laughter's like a release of emotion. Because for the most part, you know, you think about our lives, we're so stressed out and so strung out, and it all gets bottled up and left inside to fester, which turns into disease and, you know, illnesses and all that sort of stuff. But laughter's like this big, bold release of an emotional response that releases a whole world of endorphins into the body that are all endorphins that provide youth. That bring collagen and elastin back into the skin, even though the laughing lines might, you know, intensify.
Ours have had a lot of work.
I reckon.
Jacob said
I've been laughing a lot.
Jacob said I've got dimples that have now stretched long ones.
Did you laugh at him?
I did try to laugh at that one. I didn't think it was that funny. It was a bit like when he told me that maybe Mama Boob Joel wouldn't go astray for you.
No,
Is that funny?
Well, you know what my daughter said? My daughter said one day to me, Mummy, why are your boobs so long?
And you know how I shut my son up?
How did you shut her?
I said to him, it's thanks to you and Taylor and your father that they hang like this. And he went, oh, too much information. I thought, you won't say that again, will you?
Exactly. You know, I actually love what kids say because they do say the funniest things. And I remember Tanya another time, I said to her, I don't know how old she was, 6 years of age, and she had really long hair, as she still has, and I'm brushing her hair, and she's pulling her head back. You know, she's not holding her head. So I said, darling, hold your head. And instead of, you know, holding her head, she grabs her head by the hands and holds it.
So cute.
They are, you know, and they make you laugh. And people who don't laugh, You know,
That is one thing the three of us do a lot
we
of.
do a lot. Yeah, and I know people say to us, I'm cacking up in the car listening to you.
Yeah.
And
We really all should have our own
Oh,
show.
we should. No, I couldn't do it by myself.
No, I mean we should have our own show. Oh, we have. How funny.
Look at that.
funny.
You're ahead of your time.
Oh my
That's what
gosh.
you are, ahead of your
Oh my
time.
gosh.
And do you know that there are laughter seminars? Well, you go to laughter seminars.
Yeah, but is that stage laughter? Like, can you make
I
yourself
wonder
laugh?
about that. Well, I can. I can. If I start laughing, because I want to start laughing to make myself feel better, and sometimes I'll be honest, I do it in the privacy of my own home. No one would ever see me do it, but sometimes I do start laughing if I'm having a particularly down day. And when I was depressed, it was one of the ways that I got myself. I got myself to experience the contrast of depression was making myself laugh.
Gosh, that's a massive thing to do when you don't feel like doing it.
It is
No,
massive.
and you really don't. Really, you don't feel like laughing. But because I think I'm hilarious, I think it's in there.
See, they made me tell the stories at the beginning. That probably didn't sound that funny. And now this one is going to get its little one-liners in, and it's going to be thought of, oh, Karen's so funny. Oh, she's so funny. Oh.
Little insecure today, Sledge?
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering
Just
whether or
go
not...
with yes. just go with yes on that
I'm
one.
feeling a little bit insecure today.
I think we exploit the hell out of that.
I'm just... You know what? I actually should have my own show.
Without us?
No.
You don't want to be... Do you know, like, if you're doing a show like this, you just don't have the interaction. And
No.
I just find girlfriends always make me laugh.
Yeah.
My kids make me laugh. My husband occasionally makes me laugh. I must... Like, he doesn't... We actually... No, he does make me laugh. Because I realise that I know the joke before it comes and I'm laughing about the story before he finishes. I do the same with you, Kim.
You're actually brilliant as an audience member. She actually knows the story that's coming and she cracks up, which makes everyone else crack up before the joke comes out, and it makes you look really good on stage.
It's awesome.
You're actually a great friend.
Do you know what I love to laugh. I absolutely love it. And one of my favourite shows is where I can't remember the name of the actor, and he goes, I love to laugh. You know that one? It's Mary Poppins.
Oh.
And he does this whole song on laughter and giggling, and it's just gorgeous.
A little bit before my time, but...
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're doing age groups.
Yeah. But you know what makes me laugh is that little Elmo.
Little
Oh,
red
in
Elmo.
Sesame
Little red Elmo. There was a doll that came out, and when you put him upside down,
he got the giggles.
and he got the giggles. Oh my god! And I used to be able to take off his laugh, and if I heard it now, I'd be able to take off his laugh, and oh my goodness! As soon as I take off his laugh, and I start hearing myself making the sayings, I'll wet my pants.
So just a little bit back on that thing before, which I thought was fascinating. So when you're feeling flat and down, what would be how did you actually make yourself do that? Because you're really not in the mood for it and you feel like telling the world to go away and closing off. And what did you actually do?
Well, you know what? I used to watch Kath and Kim.
Oh, hello. Oh, that's nice, unusual.
It's different, it's unusual. I like it. And I also used to watch, I love Russell Queet.
Oh, he's the best.
What's his name in real life? Glenn
Robbins.
Man, funny.
I got to meet him. Just saying.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to be you when I grow up. Did he have his pants on, or did he have his bum in the air?
No. Do you know what's so funny? We were down at the MCG, and Danny was playing in a charity cricket match with Shane Warne, and Glenn Robbins was one of the players.
She's dropping names. Did you hear?
Yeah.
Shane Warne.
You know, some of us have to do it. Shane Warne.
Does he text you at all?
Quite often. He looks more Christmassy now than he used to.
Yes, I must admit, I think his latest girlfriend's done a good job.
Oh, no, see, I prefer the old him.
Yeah, so does most people in Australia.
I do. I think the old him was more real, and he was nicer. Now I think he just looks like feminine.
He actually looks like Ken and Barbie.
Ken and Barbie. He does. He looks... I don't think there's...
Anyway. So...
That was a bit of a sidestep.
So what is so cute is that Jacob just at that point had realised, and Taylor had realised, that their dad had a little bit of fame about him. So here we are with all these quite well-known celebrities and comedians and actors and actresses and all these different people down there. And when I walked into the dressing room, when we all came in, Jacob went, "Oh, Dad, that's Shane Warne." And we've got this photo of Jacob shaking hands with Shane Warne and just looking at him like this little 7-year-old boy going, right?
Yeah.
Well, the photo of me,
With Russell Coy.
I've got my arms dripping around him. I'm always wrapping
Shane
my
Warne.
legs. No, not Shane. No, Glenn Robbins. Glenn Robbins. And I went up to him and went, "Oh my God, it's Kel." Like these I've got my arms around him.
It's
and everything.
Uncle Arthur.
Uncle Arthur, it's Kel, it's Russell Coy, it's the whole lot. And I'm snuggling him and hugging him and everything. There's a photo of me. So excited that I've met him. After a while, see, my kids only know him as Kel. And they kept calling him Kel, and to the point where we got into the lift and he goes, "Kids, my name's Glenn." And Jacob goes, "No, it's not. It's Kel."
It's Kel Knight, actually. Kel Knight, that's right.
Oh, so that's what you do. You'd watch videos.
I did. I would watch movies and I would watch stuff like that would help lighten my mood. And then I would just go and sit in my room and I would just force myself to laugh. I just forced myself to laugh. I didn't feel like laughing, but I would just force myself to laugh. And because I think I'm hilarious, the more I would laugh, the more it would actually be a genuine laugh. Really? And then I would get myself... Yeah, because I knew that was going to be a way that would help me on the inside, because I knew that the antidepressants and I knew that the drugs were never going to help me. So I knew that was a way of me taking medicine. It was a way for me to get, medicine for me. And it wasn't so much that I was going for a change of state. I was going for an internal medicine to make myself better. So if I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed, like ha 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 ha, you know, like that gets really irritating.
I actually think I'd start crying.
It does. It gets really irritating, but then you start to laugh at the futility of getting irritated because you're laughing.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That was my mindset.
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God, look at me. I'm getting so irritated because I'm laughing, and then I'd laugh at me getting irritated, and then I'd laugh at me laughing at me getting irritated, and then the laughing just... You know, you know when you've had a big crack up, how you actually feel a little exhausted?
Well, yes.
Because I put so much into my laughs. You feel a little shattered, but you feel awesome.
Yeah.
That was the feeling that I always went for, and when I got that, I knew I could stop laughing. I'd go and have a shower and have
But
a
with
sleep.
laughter, you know, that it's proven that it reduces cortisol and stress hormones, but it also increases your endorphins, which are your feel-good hormones. So you're right. I mean, whenever you're flat or down, you either need to listen to Up for a Chat, or go. But you're right, movies or something.
Yeah. No, I think Up for a Chat's it. Really, I do.
But you know what's so funny? Do you think that's the mindset? Because the first time, so my sister and I went to the movies one night, and we thought we were going to see Titanic when Titanic came out. We couldn't get in because you can imagine how booked out it was. So the next option was Austin Powers.
Oh, gosh.
Austin Powers.
But just hear this though. We went thinking we were going to go and see a drama. So we thought, we hadn't heard anything about Austin Powers. Went into Austin Powers and sat there, and the whole audience is laughing, and we're both in this mood of... Because we didn't want to be in that movie, and so we're sitting there going, that's so not funny. Oh my gosh, why are they laughing? Oh my gosh. Right? So we came out of that going, what a stupid film. That was just ridiculous. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, or when it came out on DVD, or a couple of months later or whatever, I'm at home going to everybody, no, it's so not funny. It's so not funny. Oh my gosh, I have laughed and cried with laughter so much. So the mood I was in... That's interesting because it's actually a really funny film. Or something. Then what makes some people think someone like Jim Carrey is hilarious and someone else thinks he's the most irritating comedian out? So
yeah, what is that? Because I'll be at a movie and I'll be the only one laughing. Seriously,
that's common.
Or I listen to you and I'm the only one laughing, or I laugh in places other people don't laugh.
So I think that there's...
What is that?
Well, there's two explanations for that. The first one is really simple. The first explanation is it's simply a matter of taste. Like I would eat an orange over watermelon, whereas somebody else would eat watermelon over an orange. So the first one is just simple taste and your sense of humour. And some people's sense of humour is dry. Some people's sense of humour is wicked. Some people's sense of humour is cheeky and mischievous. So, you know, that's like personality traits. Our humour is like personality traits. But then the other more deep reason behind that is some people are more free than others. Because a lot of times people find it difficult to laugh because of experiences that they've had when they were younger or growing up where they were laughed at, and they don't feel a sense of freedom around laughter. They feel a sense of restraint. So when they think that something might be funny, they may think it's funny, but their ability to express it is really limited. And I had somebody really close to me in my life that really struggled to crack a smile.
Oh, really?
So I used to go out of my way to make them crack a smile, because when they cracked a smile, they lit up the room, and if only they knew, you know. So I'd go out of my way thinking I was just being hilarious, and I could see that they thought...
Actually think she is.
Especially when I've had a couple of shampoos. When I used to drink.
Shut the front door.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, I'm getting as funny as you.
You are. You're hilarious.
You are actually funny. You're like those kids with the rubber bands. Your laughter is infectious.
Oh, it is. Oh, for goodness sake.
It's amazing. Did I just say A?
I
That's right, A. That's really funny. Oh my gosh.
You're like my brother. When my brother laughs, I'm not kidding. When my brother laughs, the whole world laughs with him. My brother has got the most infectious laugh, and his whole face laughs. His whole... And you think I'm funny? Oh, my God. My brother is...
we think she was funny.
Oh,
She keeps telling me. She keeps telling us how funny she is. I don't even think we've got a choice.
I don't think we do.
no, seriously.
Have I said anything about Carren being funny?
Have I ever said she's funny? You've said I'm funny. And I so...
No, but seriously.
Oh, seriously.
No, but seriously.
Okay, seriously. We're serious.
Yeah, but seriously, if you think I'm hysterical...
You should see my brother. You should see my brother.
My brother is outrageously funny. And my dad, oh my goodness, my dad and my dad's family, my dad's brothers, oh my goodness, when the three of them
Isn't
get
that
together.
the beautiful thing of family?
Yeah.
When you have that together
Stop
and you are
it.
all in hysterics and you get the giggles. It's just the best.
It's pant wetting. That's what that is. It's pant wetting. When I was a kid, my brother used to absolutely crack me up, and then I'd see him crack up, and that was the end of me. I couldn't recover. It would be hours before I could recover. Absolutely hours. And still to this day, he cracked, and he's one of those people like you, Cyndi. He laughs.
And a belly laugh.
Oh, yeah. He laughs without abandon. Like, he just lets go. And oh, my God. It's just, I wish next time I'm in Sydney, I'm going to put my phone on, and if you're listening, Russell, if you're listening...
Russell Coit. That's his new name.
That's his new name.
Russell Coit.
RC.
RC. So if you're listening, the next time I'm in Sydney, I'm going to record you laughing, and you are coming on up for a chat with your laugh, because everybody's got to hear it. It's just, it's beautiful.
I think anyone in hysterics has got a great laugh. I love hysterical.
I love when people snort, like you were, Kat.
I can't help it.
I know it was hysterical.
It's like I can't get enough air in. I can't suck back enough air to get the next big pound of laughter out.
Do you know, my
put a lot
family
into my laugh.
were always laughing.
Yeah.
And not just my nuclear family, but my extended family. And I think that was their way of getting through all the hardship. They were always playing practical jokes. They were always...
Oh, really?
There was always, as I remember, laughter somewhere happening in the house or at the party, or... I don't know, a practical joke was being played the whole time. And I think, you know, for them, it was their saving grace.
Yeah.
And that there was so much going on in the family, you know, with haemophilia and HIV and then AIDS and the death of everybody. And even, you know, 2 days ago, my aunt died. She passed away.
Is this one of those moments we shouldn't be laughing?
Well, no, it's definitely not a laughing time. But I know her. She was one of those people that made me laugh.
That's what I mean. She was one of those ones that you keep talking about. That was your laughter.
She was my laughter. She was my mother. She was one of those ladies that she always had a laugh, and her whole household was always chuckling. I don't know what it was. If you go to their place and all the kids, and there's been a lot that she's been through.
Laughter gets you through things, though, doesn't it? You know, and I remember you saying, I remember you've been talking about your family a lot, and when I see you all together, you get this belly laughter. I think most families, when you have that connection, there's that wonderful... And do you think, like nowadays with video, like you were just saying, imagine at funerals, rather than the somberness of it, like playing them in hysterical laughter.
I agree.
Or playing them when they've just been smiling. You know, I love it when we celebrate their life rather than... Which I'd like to say was me at the funeral that I should have been at. But when I think about laughing and I think about people who do laugh a lot, my gosh, it raises your energy and your sense of own humour, and it's beautiful.
You know, my sister's celebration of life, we didn't call it a funeral because once she passed away, I had her body cremated immediately. She didn't, it had done her no good. So I went, she doesn't need it, we're getting rid of it. And then what we did was we called everybody from around the world that knew her. And we said, we're having a party. It's on this day. There'll be no funeral. It's just a celebration of my sister's life.
Can you guys do that for me if I should ever cross to the other side?
We'd love to do that.
Just don't do a funeral.
No.
We'll just have lots of fluffy puppies, lots of little animals.
We'll do that.
Otters. We'll have the
Little
otters.
otters.
Little otters.
Yeah.
And your baby dogs. But we ended up it was a
That was flaming sambucas.
yeah, the flaming sample.
wow, that's awesome.
Fingers.
We did everything. We just had the best time because she laughed. And when she laughed, she was infectious. Like, I can still hear her laugh. I still hear it. And a lot of people go, you laugh like your sister. And I went, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very infectious. So the celebration of her laugh was about the fun times. It wasn't that she was gone. It was about the funny things that she would do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's so important.
Yeah. Well, we'd done Mum's funeral not long before Lisa died. And I could see Lisa hated every minute of it. Absolutely hated every minute of it. And I went, she didn't even want to go to Mum's. Why would she want to go to her own? So there's no point in doing that. So, yeah, I did what I felt that she wanted. She didn't tell me what she wanted, but I just, because she died very quickly in a roundabout way. It's too hard to explain, but when she did pass, there was no talking about her funeral or anything like that. So I did what I thought she would love.
That's
And you know what? I think we see, and we're going to death here, but I believe we see death as a finality, whereas I've never believed it's a finality. I believe it's a passage, a passing, as you said. And let's celebrate wherever you've gone or wherever they've gone. And yes, we hurt. Oh my gosh, we hurt. And we grieve and we miss them. But I like to remember my mum laughing and my sister laughing and all the fun times that we had as a family. I'll never forget. Oh, this was funny. My mum was straight, like really, really straight. And I remember I must have been 10 or 11 and I was up and she didn't drink, by the way. My mother didn't drink. She'd gone out on a fancy dress and I remember she looked beautiful. I remember, when you love watching your parents go out in fancy dress, and she went out and she came home and she couldn't stop laughing. I thought it was the Wicked Witch of the West. It was...
Oh, wow.
And it was just this constant... And I'm like, what has happened to my mother? She has absolutely gone... And they're the times that I love to remember about them.
We don't put miserable-looking photos on the cover of a funeral pamphlet, do we? We always put one of them smiling or happy or things. Yeah. So I think that's a really good... Do you know if I've heard lately... I don't know whether it's serious or not, but people that call themselves joyologists.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Yeah.
Amanda Gore. Amanda Gore's a joyologist.
Oh, she's funny.
She is funny.
She's
Amanda
hilarious.
Gore. Oh, yeah. She should have been a comedian, but she's a motivational, inspirational speaker, yeah.
Do you become one? Are you trained to become one? Is that what it is?
I've watched Amanda Gore speak for probably 20 years. And I remember being at one of her talks 20 years ago and I was on the floor laughing. I really was. She should be a comedian, a stand-up comedian if there was anything else. And, yeah, she calls herself a joyologist. She has... What is the name of her...
The Joy Project.
The Joy Project.
It's her book, isn't it?
Yeah. And she is about laughter, but she makes everybody laugh. Like, I don't know how she does it. She has these two voices. A bit like you, Karen. Actually, a lot like you in your voices.
And she does little funny things with puppets, and she talks about poos. And
She's got little headbands with little stars on them
that always move all the time.
Big glasses.
I would recommend, if anybody's listening to us, if they get a chance to go to YouTube, look up Amanda Gore and just watch one of her 10, 15-minute skits, because that's what I call them. They're skits. But in the same way, they're very inspirational.
Oh, yeah, she's amazing.
And when you're on, I find when I'm in front of an audience and you start them laughing, you actually are egged on to tell more funny things. Yeah. Look at Karen, just like a little kid in a candy box right now. You do, and you have so much fun with them, and I would rather be speaking with people who are having fun, and when you're having fun, you learn more. When you laugh, you learn so much more. 20 years ago, I still remember what Amanda Gore was saying.
Well, here's a psychological incentive to laugh more while you're learning, because when you're laughing, it's the same way of learning, like when you learn the words of a song.
Ah.
Do you know?
Oh, yeah, because you're in there.
Yeah, I don't know if you can ever remember, in Australia here we've got we had a place called Pizza Hut. Do you remember the number for Pizza Hut? 4811111, 4811111.
Oh my gosh, she's got a good memory.
Pizza Hut delivery.
Oh, you're right.
I keep thinking, 800, 42, 42, 42. I think that was ours in New Zealand.
Yeah, it
right.
must have been.
So it's
How cool is that?
yeah, and like a Pat Benatar song will come on, and Pat Benatar's like so yesterday. But I know all the words to all the songs.
Yes.
And all the Bee Gees songs, and Barbra Streisand, and Neil Diamond, and all of those guys were long before my time. And I remember my mum used to play music of Demis Roussos.
I remember Demis Roussos.
Oh my God.
She does.
She just called you old.
I know. Well, I am the old one of the family.
But my mum used to play Demis Roussos, and I remember all the words to his songs. And back then, I used to think, "Oh God, here it goes again." Now I crave it. When I hear a Demis Roussos song, I can sing the words, and it's like
She wants to be a singer, everybody. I just thought you'd like to know.
I'd love to be a singer when I grow up. I'd love to. Oh, when I'm a big person, I want to be a singer.
And a prime minister and a change agent.
all of those.
And a comedian.
Yes, all those things.
But you're so right, because I can't remember the words of the song, but when the tune starts,
You know them.
I
You know them. That's right.
But I have to have the tune. If somebody said to me, "What are the words of, I don't know, any of the ones that you were
Meatloaf.
talking about?" Meatloaf. Yeah. But if you started,
Then you'd know them.
I'd know them. If you start the music straight away, I will know the whole of the words. But if you do not give me that initial beginning, I will go, I don't remember. I don't remember the first word.
And when you're laughing, the same, a similar area of the brain lights up for memory and for retention as what it does with music.
Nice.
And isn't that amazing? So when you're laughing,
learning should be fun.
learning should be fun. Teachers get more engagement out of the students when they include humour, because students can actually pay attention, because they're actually listening to something that lights up a part of their brain that creates engagement.
Well, actually, there's an airline in South Africa, Kulula Air, and I remember sitting down on the plane when we were flying from Cape Town to Joburg, and we sit down and it comes over.
So she starts laughing before she even tells the story.
It comes over the thing, how please fasten your seatbelts and da-da-da, the no smoking in toilets, and they go, please fasten your seatbelt. If you don't, you may fall out of the plane. If you do choose to smoke a cigarette, you will be thrown out of the plane. Please note, no hair dryers, straighteners, and no washing machines to be used in the toilets. They just get thrown. And the more they were saying things, the whole plane starts laughing, but you're actually listening.
Yeah, because you're not expecting to also hear them say that,
No.
because you've got this routine. You
Well,
know,
you
it's
do.
like, and here are the lights that will lead you to the exit. And,
It was very funny.
Well, when Virgin first started,
They did that.
they did some comedy routines.
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
they were
they
always doing a
did.
comedy routine. And I remember I was on a plane just recently, and I think it was a Virgin flight, and the pilot came on and said, now, I think we were going from Tasmania to Queensland, and he said, and the temperature is the same in Queensland as it is here in Tasmania. And I actually listened and went, no way, it's not 1 degree in Queensland. And he went, just checking, everybody's listening.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but whereas if you just said I would have just been like, your brain almost
Danny was
stops.
at high school. Danny loves history, and I could not think of a worse topic. My whole thing around history, because our teacher was so boring. Sorry if you're listening,
didn't
Mrs.
laugh, didn't
Hartstrong.
You just said her name.
Yep.
Armstrong.
Yeah, she was so boring. Anyway, so for me it was like, and my whole attitude.
Did you just say that on air?
She's probably married.
She's probably.
She still remembers her maiden name.
She would know who she is, love.
Well, she was boring. I'm just being honest. Anyway, she was, so I used to say my whole attitude around history was, why go over things that are already done, people? Move on, right? It's in the past, move on, right? Danny, however, his teacher, Murray Deaker, I can say this, he apparently arrived in their first lesson dressed up like Julius Caesar.
Oh, nice.
And knocked on the door and was looking like, you know, there's those glass windows that you look into the classroom, and apparently the kids are all sitting there waiting for the teacher, and he's like doing this, looking in, until everybody started going, who keeps walking past the door, right? Yeah. And so they all started noticing what was going on at the door, and then finally he walked in and talked and spoke like...
Oh, amazing.
Julius Caesar. And so Danny's interest in history, and you want to hear him talk about historical events. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. It really does. I'm just going to talk to you about my favourite comedian, who is in history, is Monty Python.
He's awesome.
Monty Python was so far ahead of their time. True. And I just love the Holy Grail.
Yeah, the Holy Grail.
And the Black Knight. The Black Knight is just the best. So if anybody has not seen the Holy Grail on Monty Python, go and have a great laugh. It's worth it. Then there's The Meaning of Life.
I've seen The Meaning of Life.
Yeah, The Meaning of Life's good.
The goldfish. Morning.
Yeah.
He's not the son of God. He's just a naughty little boy. I love that one. But the best one of all...
I'm still on the goldfish.
Let's go on. Go on. Go.
No, the goldfish swims around the bowl because he's only got a memory
for 1 second or something.
So each time he swims around, he goes, morning.
That tickled my feet.
Love that. That's so fabulous.
See small things.
Okay.
Small things amuse small
nothing
minds.
like good humoured television shows or films or books. I love sitting there in my own world reading a book that's just...
And chuckling
to myself.
I've never read a funny book.
Down Under. Down Under by the travel writer. I couldn't stop laughing about the cricket, about him getting... it's the best. I can't remember his name, though. Do you remember the name of
Down
it?
Under? Google it.
We'll Google it. We're still talking about books. And the book was also not only entertaining and funny, but it was also educational, as was, I believe, Monty Python's film, The Meaning of Life. Yeah. The Meaning of Life was, 25 years ago. And my favourite, the Catholics and the Protestants, that was, the beginning of The Meaning of Life. Bill Bryson, that's who it is. Bill Bryson.
Down Under.
Down Under. It's so funny. I love him. He's just got so much comedy. And he did A Walk in the Wild or something like that. He's done so many good comical books. But this Meaning of Life, it was so true. So they did the financial world, they did the Christians and, the Catholics and the Protestant world. But the funniest one of all that they did was... where the girl's wanting to have a baby. And she's laying back and she says, what do I do? And they're in the middle of a big medical doctor or a big hospital with heaps of machines. Do you remember this? Heaps of machines around. And she's she's about to deliver a baby and she's going, well, what do I do?
Yes.
And they go, lay back, you don't have to do anything. Where's the machine that goes, beep? Cooked. And it was like their comedy.
Very clever, isn't it?
Was so clever, but it was so true to life. And if people really watch The Meaning of Life and understand the undercurrent that they were actually trying to teach people that what was happening in life is not really that comical. They were just making it comical. And the one on obesity that they did in The Meaning of Life at the end.
One more after dinner, man.
One more with that. And, he finally explodes because he eats way too much. It's not so funny, really, when you have a look at the undercurrent of what The Meaning of Life was doing in the movie. But I thought Monty Python were very, very clever and what they did.
Fawlty Towers was quite of its time too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And how funny is, what's his name, the main guy? What's his name? I've got blank.
Oh, John Cleese.
John Cleese. He's just brilliant. And I remember growing up with my parents, and Dad loved things like The Goodies.
I loved The Goodies.
Yeah, and Benny Hill, which I could never quite get.
Yeah, Benny Hill I didn't quite get.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But it had that Dave Allen. He was a funny comedian, but it's taking... And Billy Connolly, who takes the mickey out of...
I love Billy Connolly.
on real life situations, and they make them bloody funny.
Yeah. Now, talking about Billy Connolly.
I know.
Please,
Go, Kimmy, go.
You know, with this, I think Kim is funnier than Billy Connolly. I'm sorry.
That's a big call.
It is a big call.
Prove it.
But she does Billy Connolly.
It swears though. I
don't care. I think that everybody should hear you because it makes me laugh every time you do it. And you know what? Once a week I'd say, please do Billy Connolly. And I said to her, if we ever do a podcast on laughter, you have to do Billy Connolly, please.
That's
and
so
for everybody else. And it's Billy Connolly in Australia.
And are you going to say the F word?
Well, I don't. Can I?
Well, say it with the F-U-K rather than the F-U...
I think what cracked me up about it was we were looking at moving over here to Australia, and so he's just brilliant because he said, I don't know if you remember it, but one part of it he goes, you know, I'm sitting there watching television, and he goes, and here I am watching, I mean, I'm used to Beirut and bombings and things, and he goes, not in Australia. He goes, no, you turn on the news, and all you hear is a woman was eaten by a crocodile. He goes, for fuck's sake, what's with this? I'm surprised they make it to adulthood at all, you know. And then he goes, and then you're watching the news, and we've got the unwelcome return of the boxed jellyfish. These fools come gift wrapped. He goes, I'm swimming along as you do, and I'm swimming in an ocean in Australia.
And she's doing the hand movement.
And he goes, and I look behind me, and there's a fucking fin 6 feet from my head. And he goes, I'm going, ah. And he goes, I'm dug a trench through the ocean, throwing women and children behind me. And he goes, I get out of the water and realise it was my own fucking fin. So he sits there, and my other favourite part is he goes, I'm standing in the shop, and I look on the counter, and there's this thing, and I look at the woman, I say, oh, hey, what might that be? She goes, oh, that's the famous funnel web spider. And he goes, so I said, so where might that come from? He says, pointing to the bush away from the sea, trying to look knowledgeable. And she goes, oh, no, we just caught that in our backyard. And he goes, fuck no. And he goes, oh, my God. She goes, don't worry, they're highly poisonous. They can kill you. But she goes, don't worry, they don't annoy you if you don't annoy it. He goes, who annoys these bastards? Who the hell wakes up some morning with a stick and goes, oh, hey, there's the famous funnel web spider. I think I'll go and annoy it. He goes, it's like someone with a Doberman pinscher with a steady gaze on my bollocks. And he goes, don't worry, you won't annoy if you don't annoy it. And he goes, but then they don't tell you what annoys it, like breathing. I just love him. Was there more? I forgot it.
I can't believe you remember.
She does. She goes for about 20 minutes, and I'm in awe. I just listened to her going, and I actually went to that. I actually decided I would watch Billy Connolly because I'd never seen him do it, and I'm thinking, no, he's not as good as my Kim.
What about the one where he goes, I'm walking along the beach and it says, beware of stingers. He goes, so I was being where? I'm looking around, he goes, what the fuck are stingers? I mean, do these things crawl along the ground, drop out of trees, or arrive in fucking taxis? I mean, what the hell are stingers? And he goes, but here's the funny part about Australians. He goes, it says, should you be stung by a stinger? He goes, wait for it. Douse the wound liberally with vinegar. I always go swimming with vinegar. You're probably the same yourself. Isn't he brilliant?
He is brilliant. But you are too.
Oh, I love him.
She's my comedian.
Yeah.
Do you know, we sit down at 6 o'clock at night and we watch the news.
I know.
You know, and the news is just, I know it's really good to know what's happening in the news, but you know what's on other channels? On other channels, we actually have funny things happening. You know, like the old Get Smart's on.
Yeah.
Friends is on, which is really funny.
Love Friends.
And what about that modern one?
The Modern Family.
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
That's great.
And the one with Sheldon.
Big Bang.
Sheldon, the Big Bang Theory. That cracks me up.
And I just think, like,
I love Offspring too, just saying.
Offspring? Haven't watched that one.
Haven't watched that one
love
either.
Offspring.
But I really love the old comedy shows because they're innocent. You know, and even the Big Bang actually is quite innocent.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. And
Paul Hogan. Remember Paul Hogan?
Here's a knife.
I'll show you. But do you remember his show that he used to have? His comedy show, Paul Hogan? Are you kidding me?
No. I vaguely remember it. I vaguely
Cindy.
remember it, but him and Strop. Oh, yes.
And Delvine Delaney.
And Delvine Delaney, they were brilliant.
They were, oh, God.
They were so funny. They were really funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah. But we don't see that anymore.
No.
They should bring that back.
Oh, I reckon they should. I don't know why they don't, though. They bring back just about every other show and put it back on telly, but Paul Hogan would be, he would be amazing.
The other thing that I love is Australian
movies.
The Castle.
Oh, my favourite.
The Castle.
Oh,
What are the main things that everybody says from The Castle now?
Well, let me. Can I? Before we go there, let me go here.
And
before we say that, let me say this.
She thinks she's funny.
Hey, that was funny. You laughed. When I first met Matt is such a fan of The Castle. When I first met him, well, it wasn't actually when I first met him. I'd known him for about 2 years before I actually went on a date with him. And
she was quite hard to get.
I was. I'm very hard to get. I'm cheap, but I'm certainly not easy.
High maintenance.
Anywho, when we went out on our first date, he takes me to dinner, and then we go back to his apartment, and he puts The Castle on. Bless him. He's sitting on the floor. God love him, he's going to be beside himself that I've told this. But he's sitting on the floor in front of me, and I'm sitting up on the lounge. He's facing me, right? He's facing me, looking at me, reciting every word for word of The Castle, and he couldn't even see what was coming up next. And he's reciting it word for word. To this day,
he can still do.
He can still recite The Castle. Him and his brother can recite the Eddie Murphy movies.
Oh, love Eddie Murphy.
Oh my goodness! All the funny movies. Him and his brother. They're like two clowns in a classroom.
Isn't that funny watching people who love movies?
God,
like my kids recite movies all the time. Always the lines out of movies, and it's brilliant when they put them in the right context or something.
And you know the new cartoon movies. Those new cartoon
kids
movies,
ones,
the kids ones, the kids ones, but they were for adults.
Yeah.
I watch them all the time. What was Tanya watching last night? 19 years of age, Open Season. Yeah. Open Season. I used to love going to them. You know, you had an excuse when you're a mother. You could go to the movies with the kids and watch these movies. But now I don't have an excuse. I'm waiting for the grandchildren, you know.
Oh, just do it. Just do it, girlfriend. I go and watch Ice Age every time it comes out.
Ice Age.
Oh, yeah, every time there's a new
Monster
Ice Age.
Inc. University.
Oh, stop it. So waiting for that. So hanging out for Monsters Inc. Can't wait.
So what were you going to say about... Oh, that was what you were going to say
The
about
Castle.
The Castle.
I asked you, okay, what are the things that we all do?
the Serenity.
All say now?
The Serenity.
Bonnie Doon.
Yeah, Bonnie Doon. Straight to the pool room.
Straight to the pool room.
Well,
Tell him he's dreaming.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Daryl. Dad. Daryl dug a hole. What do you call that, Dom? Oh, that's
Pavlova.
That's vanilla cake, huh? Oh, what's that on top of it? That's icing. Oh, why would you go anywhere else when you can be at home and have this?
Do you know that we showed this to an American girl that came, and she loved The Castle.
She did?
Absolutely loved The Castle. And so she takes it home to America. She plays it at college to her boyfriend, with her boyfriend and all their friends. And now everything goes to the pool room.
Oh, everything
Straight to the pool room. Straight to the pool room. Because Tanya was over there and she bought them something and they both went, straight to the pool room. And you know, other Australian movies.
Muriel's Wedding. Love that.
Muriel's Wedding. But I think the funniest one of all is Mental.
Oh, mental. There's a few swear words in that you've repeated, haven't you, Cindy?
Well, yes. In fact, I haven't seen it, but gee, I know what it says.
Yes.
I know what they say. Yes.
You know, but you know, there's a really good. What is behind The Castle? What is behind Muriel's Wedding? And what is behind Mental and Red Dog and this? What was that one with the singers? Not the Sopranos.
And they're all dressed up.
Yeah. So you know
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. But
That's another one. There's the
another
girls
one.
with Jessica Malboy. In it.
yeah, it's absolutely brilliant.
The Soprano.
It's not The Sopranos.
Yeah, but it's like that. something like. Anyway, what I was going to say is every single one of these has a very good tale to tell and a very good moral to the story.
Oh, yeah.
Each one of them do. They may be comedy, but they actually, got a very good moral of the story to tell. And I think that that's what's good about humour and comedy. And I understand, that we wanted this to be about laughter and fun and we wanted this to be something that was quite funny. And that's what this has been about. So it hasn't been probably something where you've had to learn a lot. But maybe in those times where you're a little bit upset, or you just listen to this one. Because we've laughed the whole way through it, and we laughed before we started it. And as soon as we turn this off, we will be cacking ourselves because we'll have realised we have done the stupidest bloody podcast ever.
And we will all agree that I'm hilarious. Telling you enough, you'll believe me.
I know, you're right.
We do.
What you focus on, you get.
We think you're very funny.
Yeah,
Good. Now, on that note, we can end the podcast. now that I finally have your agreement, we can leave.
You should have your own show.
Just saying.
All right, you guys, it's time for us to sign off. Now, if you want to post onto our Facebook page, we would love to hear from you and what cracks you up. And when was the last time, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, when's the last time you wet your pants?
And just one other thing. We'd also like to have a vote on whether you think Karen's funny.
Oh, no.
And should she have her own show? And if she did, what would it be called? Karen's Comedy Couch. There we go.
Stop it.
Sorry. I had to put that.
She's crying. Cindy's crying. Okay, so go to our Facebook page, which is all the W's, facebook.com/up for a chat. And also, if you guys want to post on the wellness couch,
She can't even
I can't. I've got nothing. Go to thewellnesscouch.com/up for a chat, and you can post underneath this podcast. And while you're there, go over to iTunes and do a search for podcasts. Search on Up for a Chat and rate us 5 stars. Because comedy, because we're funny. And join us next week on Up for a Chat and be part of the ripple effect that's changing the world.
This has been a production of TheWellnessCouch.com. Check us out on Facebook and join in the conversation on Facebook.com/TheWellnessCouch. Subscribe to each show on iTunes and check us out on Twitter. The Wellness Couch, streaming wellness into your lives.
Hi, Damien Christoph from the Wellness Guys here. The biggest wellness event in Australia is fast approaching and we want to see you there. The Wellness Summit's coming up and it's on Saturday, August the 17th at Crown, Melbourne, featuring guest speakers David Gillespie, author of Sweet Poison and Big Fat Lies, also holistic dentist Dr. Ron Ehrlich from The Good Doctors and my Wellness Guys teammates of course, the Up for a Chat girls and many more. Tickets are just $147 for this 10-hour event. So go to www.thewellnesssummit.com to book and for more information. See you there.
Whilst the Wellness Couch presenter endeavour to provide accurate and helpful information to their listeners, these podcasts cannot take into account individual circumstances and are not intended to be a substitute for health and medical advice from a qualified health professional. You should always seek the advice of a qualified health professional before acting on any of the information provided by any of the Wellness Couch podcasts.